Hello, folks. Welcome to Profiles in Eccentricity. It's a show about weirdos, doggone it. My name is John Fahey, your host, John Boy. It is John Boy time. I am the COVID kid. I am COVID barely 18. Joining me as ever, oh, the huge vanity, Aaron Joseph Pita.
Oh, the huge vanity.
You like that shit?
It's pretty good stuff.
Yep.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah. That's why I like you.
I'm the Hindenburg of
Let me tell you something.
Pretty boy.
Let me tell you something. Absolutely. Yeah.
Hindenburg of
Self-worth is in short supply, my friend.
What is?
Self-worth?
It's in short supply?
Yes.
Do I have any?
Of course you do. You have vanity. It's even better.
Hell yeah.
It's
inflated.
It's like a superpower.
All right. Great. How are you?
I'm great, man.
It's like seeing people exercise their rights.
Yeah, it's I think today was the first day people realized, oh yeah, they're just gonna keep rioting unless we do something, so we better charge all these guys with murder.
Yeah, L.A.
They're not riots.
The budget, they said, oh, we're gonna look at chopping $100 million off the police budget, the $3 million police budget.
$3 billion.
$3 billion. I'm sorry, $3 billion. $3 billion police budget. They're like, we'll take $100 million off and put it towards something else.
It's something.
Cool.
I mean, $100 million, $150 million goes a lot farther in other line items for the city than it does for the cops.
Yeah.
So I'll take it. I'll take a little bit more.
Yeah. They
chisel away at it.
I was looking at the budget. The amount they cut for sheriff was less than they cut for public defenders, it was less than they cut for like housing for social services.
Yeah, the $150 million that they're going to possibly cut off of this year's budget will only take it back to last year's budget.
And they'll probably just cut it out of fucking public defenders. They'll probably leave the sheriff's department with whatever they fucking want.
The LA Sheriff's guy, I don't know if anybody really knows.
Villanueva?
The entire LA Sheriff's Department is rife with corruption. There's like 4 different gangs. They moonlight as like fucking drug dealers and weapon dealers.
The last sheriff's in jail.
Yes.
And a bunch of the people that he...
Hey, your name is Matt Brousseau, isn't it?
Matt Brousseau. A bunch of the people that Baca got rid of, as soon as Villanueva was elected sheriff, he rehired him.
Yeah.
All of these people are like abusers and fucking scumbags, and so it's a pretty awful time.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is just interdepartment politics.
Yeah.
You know, and you go like, oh, these guys weren't scumbags, let's hire them back. And then you hire them back, and then it's popular with cops, but people are going, hey, what the fuck are you doing, man?
I mean, I don't know what any of them are doing. They have like a less than 50%. I think nationwide it's like 45% case closure rate.
Yeah.
And it's like, so what the fuck are we even paying these people for?
Yeah.
They're not even doing anything.
Yeah.
People are getting hurt and they're not solving it. What the fuck?
Right.
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
Yeah. That's what it turns out.
Yeah.
Anyways, Matt, you have a really fucked up, nasty, sick news factoid.
We both came across this today.
Yeah.
Ew.
No, well, not at the same time.
Oh.
Came across it.
I think was it called Crossfire? I want to say it was called Crossfire. That was just one of those.
The TV show?
The CNN show.
No, it was a porno.
Oh, probably
like,
Friendly
porno.
Fire.
Yeah.
Friendly Fire.
Porno.
Just
Crossfire. Remember that?
That was a great game.
You'll get caught up in the...
We had one Patreon listener who asked not to use his name, but said gave a whole history of Peter North and how the guy used to do gay for pay videos and was just upset. His whole thing was like, don't ever touch my hair.
Peter North said?
Yeah.
No way.
Don't touch his fucking hair.
His hair was always like perfectly slicked and like
his
the
hair
lamest.
Looked pretty cool.
It's coiffed.
No, it was just it was a
90s side part, typical run.
Yeah, he looked like a henchman in the Batman universe.
Yeah.
I thought he looked cool.
Well, because he was having sex with people in front of you.
Yeah, and he was pasting them with paper mache.
What?
Well, his prodigious loads.
Yeah. He had big old loads.
No, he's right. Well, I want to talk about another porno actor.
Porno.
This is one everybody knows, of course, because he's half food.
Half food.
Nacho Vidal
Yeah.
Is if you've looked at porn for more than a couple years, you've probably seen his name.
Yeah, he's got some AVNs under his belt.
Yeah, he usually puts his name on his videos.
He's
and
got
stuff.
a few AVNs underneath that belt.
Notorious Spaniard.
Notorious,
Yes,
perverted, horrible.
Yes.
I mean, Gonzo Pioneer.
Yeah.
No stranger to the trans genre.
Yeah.
I think he won. I think 2004. He had best trans video.
So, you know, open-minded, open-ended, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
So he, you know, guys, I guess I'll just read the title because
Yeah.
it's so good.
It's so good.
This is from The Guardian, but I saw it. Someone on, a writer I follow, like 60-year-old writer I follow on Twitter retweeted it. And he's never talked about porn ever, but it's just perfect. Here's the title. Spanish porn actor arrested over fatal toad venom ceremony.
The toad.
Yeah.
Toad?
So he gave somebody the toad venom, apparently for the
Psychedelic, shamanic,
the
mystical
DMT.
ritual.
It's supposed to be like an ayahuasca type thing.
Yeah.
But there's actually no...
It's the shit they're talking about in the Tyson thing, right?
Yeah,
It's the toad.
It's the toad.
It's 5-MeO DMT.
You ever see the toad?
Joe, hey Nacho, you ever fuck with the toad?
And so the guy died.
Yeah. Well, you know, the toad, it's a venom used to protect the toad from people trying to kill it.
Yeah. And now everybody fucking wants the venom.
Yeah.
Toad's like, what
Everybody
the fuck?
wants some.
I think
want
they
some
miscalculated.
too. Yes, that's probably it. This happened in July 2019 in Valencia. And someone was over at some man, presumably was at Nacho's
Fuck
villa.
dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a mansion that his family used to be very wealthy and they lost it all in the 87 stock market crash.
Is that right?
But the mansion survived and he ended up moving there to have a family. He briefly retired from porn. I think he lasted 6 weeks and then divorced the woman. And then
Well, she didn't have a dick.
came back to porn. Yeah. Yeah.
6 weeks. That's tough.
I think 6 weeks.
Wow. He probably did nut the entire time.
God, what a maniac. God. Anyway, so yeah, in this villa. So go ahead.
So officers, this is from The Guardian, quote, this statement. Officers began investigating after the death of a person during a mystical ritual involving the inhalation of vapors from the venom of the Bufo alvarius toad.
Mysticism.
There's also 2 men and a woman aged 37 to 50 have also been arrested. Wow. 37 to 50. Why don't I just say their ages?
Anywhere from 69.
As soon as you smoke the toad, bro, what is age?
Yeah, what is time?
Yeah, seriously. I don't know, man. 37 to 50. You tell me.
I don't even know what dimension I'm in right now.
Is that dude fucking dead? Holy shit, Nacho.
This is not your fault.
It's not your grandfather's ayahuasca ceremony. God damn it. It's so stupid.
It was an 11-month investigation. So they're charging involuntary manslaughter.
Mm-hmm.
And they said this is a commonly practiced activity carried out for therapeutic or medicinal ends, but which posed a serious threat to public health despite being dressed up as what appeared to be an apparently inoffensive ancestral ritual.
Incestual ritual?
What the fuck? What's going on there? I gotta get more.
Heavenly Father, what are you doing? I'm changing.
God.
That's what that movie with my daddy taught me. That was an ancestral ritual.
That was an ancestral ritual, yeah.
Oh, Daddy taught us not to be ashamed of our dicks?
Would you show me?
Don't be ashamed, son! Those are good dicks.
Now squirt some of this toad nut on a mirror.
I'll show you how to rub it without ripping the skin off. What?
Huh?
The statement says the ceremony involved, quote, highly suggestible people who are especially vulnerable and were seeking alternative ways to cure certain ailments or addictions. And his lawyer said the death was accidental and denied suggestions that Vidal acted as a shaman during the ritual.
You know he did. You know he did.
This is just a house where people come to ingest the toad. He's not some
And the
mystical
load.
priest.
He took too hot of a load for the toad.
Toad load.
Hot toad loads. Oh God.
Don't fuck around. You know,
Maybe he just like fucking was like, you know what? You know, you see all that shit like when you're gonna die because you're gonna die. You know?
Yeah.
You just it's real. You know?
the mind makes it real.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah, his lawyer said he was very upset by the death of this person, but he considers himself to be innocent.
Of course.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah. I mean,
To not turn yourself into the police and consider yourself to be innocent.
what do they do with them?
I mean, what they need to do is, indict this toad.
Yeah.
And I
Absolutely.
don't mean Manuel Ferrara,
Yeah.
the other porn star.
Speaking of porn comments, he's getting older these days. I watched
No,
this
Manuel. Talking about Manuel?
Manuel, yeah.
Oh.
And every now and then there's a comment like, man, fuck this French toad.
Is that offensive to you?
No.
No,
I think
frog
it-
is
I think it's just-
racist. Toad is fine.
I think, yeah, it's a regional thing.
Toad is like the soft A.
It is. It is. All right, this is gonna be a frog and toad.
No.
People getting so angry over free
Now,
pornography.
do you know about Nacho's previous problems with the law?
And biology.
yes, and with also biology.
No, I don't, John.
Well, Aaron, you take biology first.
Thanks, John.
I feel like I'm the audience here.
About a year ago,
This is gonna happen now that we live together.
Yeah.
You know about this? You tell him, Aaron.
yeah, we'll break it up.
Thanks, dads.
Nacho tested positive for HIV, the virus that causes AIDS.
Oh, that seems important.
It is, especially when you're a pornographic actor.
Yeah.
Producer, director,
Triple, quadruple threat.
distributor.
Taker, maker.
And so, he had to get out of it. But then come to find out,
According to him,
according to him, it was a false positive.
and he had another autoimmune disease.
Yeah, he had another disease. I forget the name of it. But because of all the times that he got gonorrhea and
Yes.
shit and all like the antibiotics it took, he has like now permanent arthritis.
He has,
And he's,
And
filing
it's-
for disability.
and
because
it's
he can't-
painful. It's painful. You get like these flare-ups of arthritis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That are very painful.
it makes it really hard to like shove a girl's head in a toilet and butt fuck her on camera, and so he can't work that.
Yeah, well, your body, the
The hip is really
Yeah,
important,
you
and when
gotta-
you have some sort of like
gotta
inflammatory situation.
open up.
That reminds
yeah.
me, by the
Yeah.
way, we're trying to get. I haven't contacted Jim Powers. I want to get Jim Powers on the show, but I told Aaron about the. He's doing all this bi and trans porn.
Sure.
And one of
There's some titles.
the titles is ATM transactions.
Yeah, the one you sent us
Yeah.
today.
God damn it! So
ATM
Transaction.
transactions
Beautiful.
that is absolutely genius.
Well, I can't be the only one that porn has ruined ATM for.
hot. Ruined.
no, yeah, yeah.
Now I get a little. I get a wink from the universe
Dude,
every time I.
Ruin's not the right word, but I can't see ATM.
ATM. Yeah,
If you don't
Or-
know,
it's ass
you
to
should
mouth.
stop listening to our show.
Ass to mouth.
You shouldn't even tuned in at the beginning.
But it's ass to mouth transactions.
Right.
It is genius.
It's
and then a
perfect.
lot
Well,
of gays.
it's a gift that keeps on giving because it's a quadruple, quintupled entendre. You got ATM transactions, and then you
Right.
have ATM transactions, and then
Right.
you have like, are you making a deposit?
Yeah.
Are you making a withdrawal?
Yeah.
Do you have insufficient nut?
Yeah, probably.
Overdraft? I don't know what else, but
Right.
it seems like just you could really do a deep dive
So then there's all this bi shit too, right? Where it's like
so.
two guys and a girl,
and pizza.
and
place.
it'll be like we'll swing by.
We'll swing by
We'll
is
swing by. It's so funny.
These are very
They're
good.
very good. Jim Powers XXX on Twitter. Tell him to be a guest on the show.
yes, please.
Let's crowdsource.
Yes.
I could send him a message. It's better if you guys say it.
yeah.
Yes.
But he also posted a thing that you just reminded me of, which it's just called swirlies.
What?
Oh,
It's
just
girls-
putting people's
Girls'
heads
heads in the swirly
no.
getting swirly.
Oh, it's.
And they're getting butt fucked and all kinds of shit, Aaron.
Oh.
I guess it's a whole. It's like a roller coaster.
Straight up,
It's just a
yes,
whole
for the love of
experience.
You know,
Oh, God.
I can't even get any sort of pathetic excuse of an erection without.
Without a cone head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
without somebody getting flushed.
You have mental arthritis.
Yeah, erectile arthritis.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah, you got to hear the roar of the toilet.
Well, the thing is, the first time I ever jerked off, it was to the Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Awards, and people were getting slime all over the place.
God.
Now I can't.
That's where all
can't maintain
that's
or
where all that
achieve
green food coloring's
Yeah,
from.
we're going to
I get it,
isolate
huh?
just that clip about you saying you masturbated first time during the Kids' Choice Awards. And we'll animate it too. By the way, Dark Roast Dallas is now going to be making a clip for us every show, starting with this show, Aaron.
Wow.
Oh, that might be it.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Thank you, Dark Roast Dallas.
Thank you, Dallas.
Yeah.
I just want to say one other thing. ATM, that also, I was really drunk with my friend Kevin years ago. And you know what we figured out?
Tell me.
Batman is busty ass to mouth all night. So now I can't even watch Batman without
Busty ass to mouth all night.
Yeah.
Wow. Aaron, did you have any idea?
I didn't know there was a whole genre that I was not privy to. I don't know. I mean, once I was blind and now I can see.
I know.
Busty ass to mouth all night.
all night.
All night.
I mean, he's a crusader in the dark.
I think we might have to do a whole thing.
Don't shake your head at me.
He lives with a boy.
I'm
And an old man.
And an old man.
an old man.
Huh. His suit's basically a glory hole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just right here. That's all you see right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true. God. Oh, God.
Come on.
The only mask that doesn't make sense in COVID times.
That's right.
Monster brew.
No, the joke about Batman is so that the cops know he's white.
Very good.
It's very
Watchmen.
apropos of the time.
Yeah. Also,
Watchmen.
Watchmen does the false white with the hooded justice.
Spoiler alert.
If you haven't watched it by now, get real.
Honestly, you're right. If you haven't watched the television show Watchmen on HBO, now is a great time.
It
to
probably
start,
is the best time to watch it if
without
you
a
want to.
doubt.
Yeah. We watched 3. We just binged 3 the other night.
You slut.
Yeah, hardcore. But also, real quick, on Nacho Vidal, pornographer, maybe has AIDS, maybe doesn't, maybe killed his friend, I don't know. Or maybe that toad did.
It's just an associate.
He also maybe was involved with laundering money for the Chinese mob.
Oh, wow. This guy's,
He was rounded up with like 200 people in like this huge sting, and it was all kinds of money laundering for the Chinese mob, and his porn company had like a bunch of bogus invoices for shit, and it was so he's been in some shit
He's
for
been dabbling.
quite some time.
Yeah. This was 2012, I think, is when he was arrested. Can't believe I didn't hear about it back then. I usually have my
Ear to the ground for Spanish pornographers.
I
especially.
usually have my ass to the mouth of the pulse of the whatever.
All right, I'm gonna come and provide an additional appetizer, and then Aaron, we're going to launch into your main course.
That's right.
wow.
We'll be right back. And we're back.
Hi.
How you doing, fellas?
Good.
So, I got into some weird. I don't like making fun of insanity, except I do, 100%.
Right. But you do feel a little bit guilty of it.
I feel a little bad about it,
Yeah.
but it is very funny when people are crazy, because
Well, it's because it's so
very,
crazy.
It's very different.
It's
very different.
Yeah.
It's just.
It's extra. It's different.
It's so, and I mean, this shit is terrifying. Some of this shit. And I'll go into some more because I got some that I really like.
What a fucking psychopath.
But it's just such a gift, like the insane fucking things the mind can do. And so one of the things I want to talk about, which is really more of a symptom, kind of syndrome, rather than just its own diagnosis. But it's something that you'll experience as a result of many different things, and it could be schizophrenia, or it could be bipolar, or it could be head trauma. And it is Cotard's delusion.
Cotard's delusion?
Yeah. You familiar with that?
No.
The name, no.
So that is where you think you're dead. And
What is it where you wish you were dead? I feel that right now.
You think that already sounds funny? I know
it's very funny.
Insensitive, but funny.
But yeah, it's it's really funny because
you're just ahead of the curve.
Yeah,
You're just 20 years early.
just yeah.
yeah.
Just
But
the hard
I mean,
work, early achiever.
Yeah.
So these people will be convinced that they don't need to eat. So I mean, the first one by Dr. Cotard, Mademoiselle X.
Mademoiselle X.
Mademoiselle X. She stopped eating and died of starvation because she thought she was dead.
That's a hell of a doctor.
She also, I think, believed she had no internal organs, no intestines, no stomach.
She thought she was just an empty husk of a.
Yeah, she was a Casper.
Yeah.
Is that what they call ghosts now?
So it's there's one in 1788.
Mattress.
and this woman was just making dinner, and she's an older woman, and she felt a draft and becomes paralyzed, so one side of her body.
From the draft.
Well, she feels a draft, probably just life escaping her or something.
As a ghost, yeah, everything's a draft when you're a ghost.
And so then she obviously has a stroke. She can speak again, and then she immediately tells her daughters to put her in a coffin and give her a shroud. And
Jesus.
I'm dead, honey.
and she has the maid, everybody treat her like she's dead. And they finally are like, all right, fine, we'll give you a coffin. So they have a wake for her in the house. She's complaining about the color of the shroud in the coffin.
Yeah, she's not a sucker, John. She's dead.
Yeah. There's a difference. All right?
So
I may be dead, but I'm not going to be taken advantage of by some 2-bit burial shroud hucksters.
Yeah. This fucking funeral sucks.
And I wish I wasn't dead.
This coffin sucks. It smells like shit. No blow.
Well, that's the thing is that they'll also shit themselves and stuff because they're like, I don't go to the bathroom. I'm dead.
Yeah.
And they also already think that they smell like rotting flesh.
So the shit helps.
So the shit, if anything, is nice.
It points out there.
It's nice. Kicks it up a notch.
Yeah, the shit helps.
So yeah, Mademoiselle X, she said she had no nerves, no brain, no chest.
She was right about that. She's a flat-chested dummy, from what I heard.
No stomach, no intestines. And so then you can get into this thing where you believe that you are in some kind of purgatory because why am I still seeing all this shit?
You haven't moved on to the other side yet.
So then you can believe you're eternal. So this can lead people to attempt suicide multiple times to prove that they're dead.
Right. In which case, it's a win-win situation.
Yeah,
Either it's I'm immortal, or see, I told you I was dead.
Yeah,
it's like MacGyver getting trapped just so he can prove he's MacGyver.
But then a lot of these people are shitty at suicide, so then they don't succeed.
But they succeed at proving that they're immortal.
But they succeed at exactly.
Hello.
So you're never wrong.
It's really great.
So good.
Yeah, this is straight up.
Good.
I think I have Cotard's delusion.
Yeah, you're totally retarded.
Yeah. What?
In 2008, a 53-year-old Miss Lee, she said she was dead and smells like rotting flesh, and she asked to be taken to the morgue. Some of these people would go to the cemetery just to be among their own kind and stuff.
Just lay down in an empty grave.
Yeah,
segregation bullshit.
And
yeah, tell them to get cremated.
so they call 911. She goes to the psychiatric unit, and she says the paramedics are trying to burn down her house.
No, that's the fire department. That's what they do.
Because it also goes in like you have this great nihilism, but you have this overwhelming sense of doom. Like this one child had it, and he was just like, "Oh man, the world is gonna end like within hours."
He said,
"Plus, I'm dead."
His parents were coming home. That's what that means. And he made a mess because he shit his pants in his house.
Fuck, the world's over.
Yeah, in the 90s, this Scottish dude, he has a motorcycle accident. He hits his head, and he thinks he dies from complications during his recovery. And his mom moves him to South Africa, and due to the heat, he believes he's in hell. And he...
I'm gonna leave that.
He also believes he died of AIDS.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or sepsis.
Or
Yeah.
or
Or I have AIDS and then I got sepsis and
No,
it's like what killed me, the COVID or the heart disease.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't have had the sepsis.
In 2012, there was an older gentleman who said, this Jap fella. And he says,
I don't think that's the
you're
right
just so
nomenclature.
divisive. You know?
No. Well, he's Japanese man. Is that better? Jap fella. We were Jap fellas.
Nope.
We were wise guys.
Nope. Nope.
He said, I guess I am dead. I'd like to ask for your opinion.
Well, that's nice of him.
The doctor hits him back with this fucking zinger.
Ooh.
Did dead people speak? This blows his fucking mind straight out of the water.
Well, they did. Have you read The Telltale Heart?
I have.
No.
You get the gist.
Yeah.
You get the jizz? That's what's in that book?
Yeah, you get the gist.
If you're lucky.
I'm more of a cask of Amontillado
Mm.
fan.
Yeah, why? What does that have to do with cum?
Are you talking about a tomatillo?
No, we're talking about Edgar Allan Poe, right?
Tapatio, yeah.
Is Poe?
Yeah.
Poe. So after a year, he gets over it.
Gets over the death?
Wait,
He gets over I'm dead.
He's like, I guess I'll just.
But he's still
I'll lie to
adamant.
people.
He's still adamant that he was dead
Yes.
during that time.
Until he spoke.
And well, you got your opinion. I have mine. He has his.
If his doctor is worth his salt, he's like, you're right.
He also believed that
you solved it.
He also believed at the same hospital they were treating Kim Jong-il.
Well, he's not.
He believed that?
He believed that.
But that's not true.
No.
Well, it's just because his name.
He was Japanese, not... I mean, he's still racist. He should,
Yeah.
they're not the same.
Do you know how old he was?
35.
69.
Nice.
69. 2009. Belgium. 88-year-old guy.
88, Heil Hitler, like you said.
Jesus
You
Christ.
said 88 was Heil Hitler.
I did say that, but I didn't say Heil Hitler. I said it's code in white power for Heil
Yeah.
Hitler.
What does it go for?
Shut the fuck up. I'm taking your fucking kid quote out.
Yeah, well,
when
I'm
you
gonna
jacked off at the fucking...
I'm sending your Heil Hitler
You
shit
said
to
the
fucking
kids
TikTok.
got slimed? The fuck are you talking about?
That's why I can't nut unless there is some
All right, cutting you off right there. I'm not going to let you bury yourself
That's why they
any
make
further.
flat screen TVs today. It's less surface area.
So the man says, I'm dead, and I'm very anxious that nobody's buried me yet.
very
I'm very, very anxious. And
corpse anxiety.
they'll get antipsychotics will help with this.
You don't say.
But also,
The pro-psychotics weren't working.
Yeah.
also, I think maybe the best thing is electroshock.
Which they just they just like banned that. Or they made a recommendation to ban it again because it's been like it had a resurgence in the past few
It did,
years.
big
Yeah.
time, yeah.
Well, like, what was the resurgence? They're like, we can be more specific with it now?
That it
that was-
treats treatment-resistant depression.
Oh, okay.
It's restarting your computer.
Yeah. I guess the motivation from being the electricity driven through me is would
I'll straighten my shit out, I promise. Well, I think they're not just like
Okay,
doing-
I'm not crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, whatever you say. I'm alive.
I'm only alive because you jolted electricity through me. Frankenstein's monster shit.
46-year-old woman. She said she had not eaten or taken a piss or a shit in months.
Oh my god, an ideal woman.
She said she had not slept in years. She was like, all of my organs are rotted out.
Why would you be a vampire?
I have no blood.
Well,
And anybody that takes my pulse or my blood pressure is lying. They are lying. They're liars.
Where's Dr. Carl Tanzer when you need him?
Yeah.
Because my fucking shit doesn't. Oh
his
God,
dream.
you would have loved it.
His dream woman.
My pussy's a toilet paper roll of cardboard, man.
Oh God, and she's crapping herself. This is the best.
No family's angry at me either.
What did you say that episode? We were talking about the fucking the possums. What's gotten into you? You remember that? You remember saying that?
No.
That was really fucking good, man.
I forgot better shit than most people have ever thought of.
Very good, Aaron. So yeah, she gets better.
Are you saying that the possums were in her corpse, moving it around?
Yeah, you said.
Animating it?
Yeah, what's gotten into you? We were talking about rats getting in her and shit.
I like that a lot.
Greece, 2003. This guy says, I have nothing inside my head.
You said it, neighbor.
He had tried suicide years earlier because he thought life wasn't worth living because he doesn't have a brain.
Oh, that's tough.
And
Wizard of Oz.
but even making this conclusion would necessitate a brain.
No, John.
He wasn't treated. He went back to work,
Well, I still need to make money.
which is straight up just the whole thing in Mongoloid is the Devo songs. Like he had a job and he brought home the bacon and nobody knew that he was a Mongoloid. Just went through all the motions.
I mean, it makes sense though.
Mongoloid.
You don't want to be dead and kicked out of your place.
I mean, there's one thing worse than being dead, and that's being broke.
yeah.
He said at the hospital. He said he was born without a mind. meaning that his head is empty, without a brain, and for this reason he is retarded.
And cotarded.
And cotarded.
And he farted.
You're not retarded, you stupid dummy. You're cotarded. And he left after several days. They wanted to keep him. He came back the next year. Sometimes you'll have it pop up like twice a year.
Recurring cotardation.
Yeah, and it'll last for like 1 to 3 months. So for half the year, potentially, you could think you're fucking dead.
So, like, what happens, like, when you have a spell, let's say you have, like, chronic cotard, right? Chronic cotardation.
Yeah.
Like, by the 6th time, are you like, well, maybe this time it's real? Like,
I
you believe it every time?
It's time dependent.
Yeah. I think
Is it sweeps week?
Is it McDonald's Monopoly?
Yeah.
well, but also if that like one Japanese fella was like, I was dead, then maybe you think you just go in and out of death.
So you've opened the door and then you just keep walking back and forth.
You didn't bring back that cool book from Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
even
exactly.
Yeah, you got to draw on the chalk with the brick.
I mean, if you're like a death metal band, that's the perfect front man.
Yeah, well, this lady, 72, also the same doctors in Greece treated this woman. She said, all of my organs have melted, only my skin is there, and I'm practically dead.
That's
all of your organs melt, lady.
That's deep.
You are practically dead.
Yeah.
I mean, is this how Dr. Manhattan was formed?
Yeah, it's exactly.
Uh,
all his organs melted. And then, is she blue?
oh, she's sad, yeah. 2005, a 32-year-old man, kind of an unusual age. It's usually younger or elderly. In Iran, he went to the hospital. He said, not only am I dead.
We are all dead.
We stay the course. We're dead. Green Revolution, am I right? He said that his wife had also suffered the same fate as him, which is not only being dead, but also turned into a dog.
What?
Yes.
She's a real bitch.
And his 3 daughters had also died, and they turned into sheep.
Well, that's the younger generation. They'll believe anything.
He said that his relatives had tried to poison him.
After all of that. Well, I'm dead, and then they tried to poison me.
Yeah, they fed me grapes
and nothing
and
could
chocolate.
Nothing could
Killer the dogs, you wouldn't get it.
nothing could hurt him, even though because God protected him even in death. And he got the ECT, the electroconvulsive therapy, and that kind of snapped him out of it. He's like, oh, Jesus, I'm not a fucking dog.
I don't even know what I was thinking there.
Electricity can both send people to death and then take them from it.
Can you imagine thinking it's what do they call it, lycanthropy or whatever?
Being a werewolf.
Yeah. So he was diagnosed with that and cotards.
Oh, but like baby lycanthropy because it was a dog.
Yeah.
Did they just do that just to be like, all right, you get one?
Yeah, we'll give you the official diagnosis.
But yeah, it's crazy, man, because like these things are like always. It's always added on to some other like heavy mental like you'll experience a lot of guilt, a lot of nihilism, a lot of foreboding. It's just a lot of shit. Plus, you're dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The worst of all worlds,
Yeah, it's really crazy because just like it, it's silly to say it doesn't make sense, but it's like if you're dead, aren't you? If you're supposed to be a nihilist here. Who cares if the fuck? Because like several different people have said my house is about to fall down any minute, and it's like, well, what does it matter if you're fucking dead?
Well, it's a metaphor, maybe.
You also just believe that like your relatives don't exist, or you don't exist. Like it takes all these different forms, and I don't know. Brought a smile on my face. What can I tell you?
You're sick.
I know.
I'm guessing though that first week you're just focused on the dead, and then the second week you're like, should I shoplift? Does that?
Can I put my fingers in my? Can I make eyeballs on my fingers and stretch my snout out?
Yeah, you're just testing. You're testing things.
Food's still warm.
I'm guessing that guy in Iran was probably like, because they were like, oh, he says he's dead, so let's just fucking kill this guy.
Oh my god.
I mean, why not poison someone who thinks they're already dead?
Sure.
Not saying I would.
Yeah.
Well, no, they treated him and he got better.
Well,
They
the
shocked
doctors
him with
did.
the electrical stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're not, all evil over there, man.
No.
Did you buy that whole Axis of Evil speech or something? Man.
I do like the evolution, the evolution of thinking you're dead to the point where like, at some point, everything changes. You're like, your whole worldview has been flipped on its head, and then you deal with every single.
I mean, there's
thing
just
that
so
comes
much.
up.
Yeah, there's so much to break down.
Traffic
Like,
ticket. You're driving a car. Are you walking everywhere?
Why are the daughters sheep? Is it because they're supposed to protect them? Like, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah. Or
And as far as we know, they did not transmute into sheep.
No.
They were not were sheep.
No.
Yeah, but did they know that?
I think it
Sheep
might.
don't know they're sheep, man. That's why the fucking
that's
sheep
the thing.
people.
I think it might have been. They were sheep, but then there was an animal to man transaction. Classic ATM transaction.
ATM,
yeah.
Yeah, I saw your brain working there.
So that is the Cotard's delusion.
That's amazing.
It's pretty good stuff.
Wow.
ATM transaction.
Did the doctor have that is named after? Did he have anything to say about it?
These people are nuts.
Well, yeah, I mean, Mademoiselle X died, so I think he kind of helped get the word out about it, and that's why it's named after him, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, there had been cases that were, before it got a name before him. But yeah, no, he was just kind of like set up like the general thing that it was nihilism and depression and still some kind of paranoia underneath it all. Like, it's really fucking wild.
These people are trying to keep me from being dead.
I wonder in like a pre-doctor society if that would be given like a different. They'd be like, well, all right, now you get to live.
Oh, now you're the shaman. Right?
Yeah.
Just like seeing past that I can complain to you about my funeral shroud
Right.
and still think I'm dead.
His funeral sucks.
Yeah.
Fucking kill me. Wait.
So like that British bastard who faked his funeral.
Oh, yeah. God, I stink. I mean, I don't shower because I'm dead. I mean, that's a big problem with these guys is they won't hop in the shower,
Yeah, they already smell like death.
But also, what else are they doing with their time?
I mean, if I was dead, I'd still like a shower, I think, But maybe I just don't know.
But you've never been dead, dude. What do you know?
It's so it's hitting part of, the frontal lobe where it's how you view yourself, of course. And so, yeah, you're just looking in the mirror and you're convinced that you're a fucking zombie.
Yeah, so I mean, you must imagine that you really are a fucking ghost, and so what?
Yeah.
That's there should be a fucking horror film from the ghost point of view.
Well, this is like the opposite of
That was
the
the
Sixth
others.
Sense.
Oh yeah,
The guy doesn't know he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He does know. And he's really annoying. Plus, he stinks. And he farted.
And he farted.
All right, Aaron, you want to treat us?
Yeah, I'll give you something.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got some. This is I was telling you earlier, like if I was a smart person, I would have probably picked something a little more relevant to what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
But this was just something I had just on my list of stuff to do, and this was I remember I heard about this person like in 5th grade, and then I hadn't heard about him again for years and years and years. And then I was watching a Connections episode.
Hey,
Fucking nice.
Connection. And connect. Guy, this guy, and then some other stuff. And I was like,
whaling
I'm gonna do
leads
this guy.
to this guy.
Exactly, to cotards. So this is Tycho Brahe.
Oh,
heard of Tycho?
yes. He's been suggested a couple times.
Yeah, he's a interesting cat.
Yes, I've done some light reading on him.
It's light work, yeah.
He was on my list as well.
Is that right?
Yes, but I'm glad you're doing it.
Yeah. It's this is one of those classic. Again, I'm a rich dude in the time before science or
Science.
so I get to do whatever I want and be called eccentric.
Well, he was the science of his time.
Right. So this was before true science existed. This is kind of like he was an alchemist. So this is Tycho Brahe. He was born, of course, to rich parents.
yes.
In 1536.
Oh God.
Some people call him Tycho or Tycho.
I've heard Tycho.
Tycho, you could say Brahe as well, like Tycho Brahe.
I heard Tycho Brahe at the end of "I Love You, Man."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tycho Brahe.
When they're calling it, like they're at the altar and they're saying, "I love you, dude," and he's like, "I love you, Tycho Brahe."
Oh, that's cute.
It's pretty cute.
He was born in December, in Denmark, but it's now Sweden because they went to war a bunch of times.
Oh, nice.
He had he might have killed somebody before he was born.
No.
What was he, a ghost?
He had a twin in the womb.
Nice. Yeah, you gotta fucking edge him out.
Well, because then you get his power if you eat him.
Exactly. And this baby was not absorbed. I think it just came out stillborn.
TKO.
TKO transactions. He was born at his family's ancestral home, Knutstorp Castle.
Oh, Knutstorp?
That's right.
Whoa.
You gotta leave him
The K
somewhere.
is silent.
You bet it is.
Whoa.
He oh God. So like his uncle was like, "Hey, let me can I have him?"
Can I have Tycho?
Yeah, can I have Tycho? Because you guys don't really care about him, right? And they're like,
Yeah.
And so his uncle stole him when he was 2, and his parents were like, yeah. So his uncle, his dad's brother, stole Tycho, kidnapped him when he was 2.
So they weren't down with it.
They don't care.
Well, then how'd they steal him? They gave him away.
Well, I mean, you can kidnap somebody and then just be like,
Well, he was probably
Listen, if my car gets stolen and I don't care, it doesn't mean I gave my car away.
like one of 12 or something, right?
He did have a few brothers and sisters, but they were also, rich assholes.
That's strange as fuck, man.
Yeah, he said, and he raised them wonderfully.
Yeah.
Probably better than these. I mean, it's the kind of thing, like, if you get kidnapped from parents who don't make a stink about you getting kidnapped, you probably didn't want them as parents anyways.
No,
Sure.
but he probably had a relationship with the uncle where they were like, well, he's getting along so well with him, right?
Well, he was 2.
Oh, okay, never mind. Wow, he's really responding to the fingers and colors he's showing him.
He's goo-goo.
Yeah.
Tycho said that he raised me and generously provided for me during his life until my 18th year. He always treated me as his own son and made me his heir. At the age of 12, he started studying at the University of Copenhagen. And following his uncle's wish, his uncle wanted him to be a lawyer. But he did. And he studied a variety of other subjects, including
Black ass magic.
some astronomy. And what he saw the solar eclipse of August 1560,
Yes.
freaked the fuck out. And he
What the fuck was that,
Where'd
Uncle?
the sun
Whoa,
go?
whoa,
Did you kidnap
whoa.
the sun? Because you have a hobby of doing that.
Did you write that before? That's
I just made he was really impressed that it had been predicted with astronomical charts, etc., so on and so forth.
Yeah, through the various studies of
Charts. So he did notice that the prediction was based on observational data, and it was a day off. So it predicted this eclipse, but it was a day one way or another off, and so
tighten it up.
he was like, well, maybe I could
Tighten it up.
tighten it up. He continued. He started studying astronomy, pretty much exclusively there, and he was then assigned. And mind you, he was like 13 at this point, 14, and or maybe I guess he was a little bit older, but
We're talking about what, like 1560?
1560, yeah. And so he must have been 14, 15. And he was assigned like a tutor who was 19, Vedel, and they eventually left Copenhagen in 1562, and they went to Leipzig, where they studied at the Leipzig University. And he again saw small errors in all the charts because everything was off of the Copernican model, which was not very old in the first place. Copernicus was in the 1530s when he gave his, I think it was called the divine spheres.
Mm-hmm.
So up until Copernicus came up with the heliocentric model of the universe, where the center of the universe is the Earth, everything was Earth-centric,
Right.
with Aristotle and so on and so forth. But so even though the Copernican model was better, it wasn't perfect. It still had errors. And this kind of fucked with him. He didn't like these errors.
Right. Well, I mean, the instruments they're using at this time are what were then state of the art,
Which are
very
now
rudimentary
Shit.
today.
There was no telescope.
Yeah.
This was all naked eye observations with like sextants or I forget some of the names of the equipment, but they were basically like giant protractors, and you would just look in the sky.
They had star charts.
They had star charts and all that, but no telescopes. So he realized that astronomy, to have any sort of progress as a science, it required systematic, rigorous observation and annotation. And so he just night after night observed the sky, and maintained very, very detailed journals of the motions of heavenly bodies, and just going through and correcting all the star charts that had ever been made since the Copernican model was around. He and it's not that he did this, but this was kind of the state of the art of the time, that astronomy and astrology were very much intertwined. And so then he also started like being an astrologer to like rich people.
Is it a good side gig?
Yeah, it's a nice side gig.
Astrologer to the stars.
I didn't want to say it.
No, you gotta let John say those things.
Yeah, give me the bad lines.
So they go. So then he like just kind of like travels around like astrologer for hire around Europe
Good gig.
for a couple of years. Then he comes back to Leipzig in 1565. Denmark is at war with Sweden, and this guy, the vice admiral of the Danish fleet, his dad saved him. So Tycho's dad had like saved this guy Jurgen, or the vice admiral, and became like a hero. And but really, what happened? Like, he didn't die like in like a ship battle or anything. He just got like drunk and fell off a boat.
Yes, yeah.
Nice.
Well, you know, the battle itself. You know,
yeah.
when you're drunk and on a boat.
Yeah.
That's...
So Tycho's dad. Tycho's dad. I'm sorry. Let me correct that. I had it transposed. Tycho's dad became a vice admiral of the Danish fleet, and he saved the Danish king, Frederick II, when he fell into the water.
Yes.
Aha.
Okay.
So this gets the Tycho family tight with the with the royalty.
Yeah. And they want to know all about what kind of stupid sign they are and shit.
Exactly.
Hey, well, they're already
and
a noble.
Tycho's dad, like, I don't know, I got rid of him when he was 2. So then Tycho went to go do more studies. He studied like what they called medicine at the time.
Bloodletting.
Yeah, and like, herbs.
Yeah.
Mercury poisoning.
Mercury, also alchemy. So he was getting into that nasty shit. When he was 20, I mean, here's the thing. He was like a really cocky little smart son of a bitch. So when he was 20 and he was at the University of Rostock, and like he gets into this like tiff with another student over who's the better mathematician. It's like, I'm the better mathematician. No, you don't know shit, bro. You don't know your fucking square roots from your logarithms. And what's the hypotenuse, bro?
Got your hypotenuse right here.
So they have a sword fight.
Oh, yeah. Well, that'll prove it.
Yeah.
It's math for you.
Geometry. Angles.
And this guy was his third cousin. His name was Manderup Parsberg. Jewish fellow.
Huh.
I don't know.
From the Parsberg region.
That's right. So, they got drunk. They argued over who was a better mathematician, got into a sword fight, and Tycho's nose got cut off.
Damn.
Just slopped
Oh,
right
shit.
off. Right off. Saw the best doctors of the day, and they gave him, well, gosh darn it, just the best metal nose prosthesis you could ever possibly
This one almost looks like your old nose. It's just metal.
Except it
and
rusts.
You just got to strap it to your face every day.
Yeah, you got a bronze nose.
It was the style at the time.
Yeah, like that guy in Mad Max Fury Road who's got the metal nose with the rings attached to his nipples.
Yeah.
That was Tycho.
Yeah, just without the rings.
Well, we don't know. Maybe he was a freak.
Yeah. Probably loved eating butt with that metal nose.
Oh, he's probably getting real close.
Yeah.
Because in the 69, my metal nose won't tickle your rear. They didn't have Burger Kings back then.
They didn't. They didn't.
Yeah, whoever ate ass was the Burger King.
A lot of people say eating ass smells like shit. I don't fucking know.
What's your problem?
I'm dead.
I love it down there. Get up in there. Unfair advantage. So he gets his fucking nose and he keeps it pasted on.
Oh, God.
So he always carries
So
around a little jar of paste to paste it on. And he also had a fancy.
Hold on, I'm not decent yet.
He had fancy
Let me put
noses.
my nose on.
He had fancy noses like
Gold and silver ones for special occasions.
Tycho wants to fuck. You got the gold nose.
He must like you.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Don't come in yet. I haven't put my face on yet.
I bet girls loved that.
I bet
Yeah,
it
he had
wasn't
money.
that bad.
Yeah.
He had a lot
He
lot
did.
You're
In
like,
there eating your butt.
yeah, I mean,
He gets deeper than any other man who has a nose.
Yeah. Then he's fucking, puts on a gold nose and you go to a fancy dinner.
So, yeah. So he loses his nose, and then he has also a big scar on his face.
it really
too,
changes
Omar.
the meaning of brown nose.
No.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
very good. So then he, another uncle, not the one that kidnapped him and raised him, helped him build an observatory and alchemical laboratory.
Oh, boy.
Because now he's a man. He's got his nose cut off. He's got a face scar.
He's earned it.
His nose also,
Yeah.
He's got a very particular set of skills.
Yeah. Butt eating champion.
Yeah, that's right. 1561. So his uncle helps him build this observatory and alchemical laboratory at a place called Heravad Abbey, whatever. But he started to make waves as a noseless wonder.
Yeah.
And the King Frederick, who his dad saved from a drunken drowning, proposed to him that another observatory be built to observe the night sky, and that he would, he would fund it. So the king gives him an island.
Whoa.
Yeah, he gives him this island. The island is called Haven. There's no vowels.
Heaven.
Haven.
Heaven.
In the Sant near Copenhagen.
I mean, it must have been for him.
Yeah.
All the noses he could eat. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
What was going on the island before that? Nothing?
No, there
was
okay, I'll tell you. But
It's not weird Epstein stuff, is it?
no. Well,
Yeah, that's where they made the
Who's to say?
noses.
Pedophile. The Isle of Pedo?
Yeah.
Stop looking at me like that.
He's looking at it like he wants to go there.
Isle of Pedo.
Now that you say it like
God
that.
damn it.
I was watching the documentary, and they talk about Epstein's island, and I'm like,
Little St. James.
I'm like, it's pedophile.
I can't believe it's not. He's got the Lolita Express. Why not have pedophile?
Pedophile.
Of course.
It's an old Adam Carolla bit.
Is
where,
it?
Like he writes a fake movie about like a Boy Scout troop. Their plane crashes on pedophile,
Oh, God.
and they have to run. and then from it, it's basically a zombie movie. But
Damn. I guess I wasn't that smart.
No. John, you thought of it yourself?
Sounds like Lord of the Buys.
Hey, John, don't worry about your last comment. You're good.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
So, so he builds this fucking like castle, this giant castle called Uraneborg.
My what?
Uraneborg.
Yes, thank you.
You're so hostile towards your own research.
No, just these people are fucking. I'm also thinking about pedophile. But he built it like. So Uraneborg is named after the muse of astronomy, Urania.
Ah,
That's why it's not like Uraneborg.
hot.
He envisioned the castle to be like a temple to the muses of arts and science, like this.
Oh,
And it was built like a fortress, though. It had a research center. It's a really cool looking. Kind of actually does look like Epstein's fucking torture palace.
oh god.
You don't say really cool looking.
He had a secret alchemical laboratory in the underneath the whole thing.
Gotta do it. Nasty shit in the basement.
There were 100 students, and it's 100 students who work there full time. Artisans work there full time just to build it over the course of or they lived there for like 20 years. Had a printing press and a paper mill, which was one of the first in all the whole Scandinavian region. So he was able to publish his own manuscripts. He even had his own watermark. Like he made it kind of little self-sustaining little fiefdom. He had a system of canals and ponds. Ponds are good for you, John. And that's what ran the mill. It had trapdoors, a dungeon, and a torture chamber.
What? Why?
I don't know. Listen.
So someone's gonna come in and steal something.
Yeah. I just disagree with your finding.
I respectfully disagree.
One of you take a step to your left.
That was the only source that I could find. I think this was like on fucking Mental Floss or something. That was the only one that said it had a dungeon and a torture chamber. I didn't find any other sources that said that.
It seems like you say anybody who wrote that originally. How can you not describe that fucking thing?
Yeah, well, it's secret. It's an inside job, man. People goes all the way up to the monarchy. The Lolita Express canoe.
Someone's got to row that thing.
So, he ran the place like a monarchy. Like he basically got to control the people who were like subsistence farmers on it. Like they just became part of his little tiny kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because the whole island was his.
It was his. He was tight with the king.
And the people who already lived there
now are his subjects.
Yeah, and they didn't want that.
No, but they get to play the role. So like they got soldiers and servants and research assistants. Do I want to get to this part yet? No, maybe I do.
Oh, that's exciting.
So I'll get to that weird part after. So now this Uraneborg Castle Observatory, Pleasure Palace, Torture Dome is now like the most promising observatory in Europe.
Yeah.
Toward the end of 1571, he falls in love with Kirsten Jørgensdatter, daughter of Jørgen Hansen. Who's the Lutheran minister in...
Oh, it's like Dottir?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dattr. Which is, I mean, you get it. Now, she was a commoner. He's spitting up. That's disgusting.
Spit up. With the great unwashed?
What? It's sick. It's sick, but he loved her.
He loves her.
Just because he doesn't have a nose.
Guess. Yeah, he doesn't know she stinks.
What's wrong, guys?
He has no idea.
Stop saying you're dead. I can't even notice.
Yeah.
So...
Listen, I don't care if you're dead or if you farted.
So he was he never formally married her because if he did, he would lose his noble privileges. But Danish law permitted something called morgantic marriage.
Hot. What is that?
morganatic marriage, which is a nobleman and a common woman. It's basically what do they call that?
Like taking on a mistress?
No. Common law marriage.
Sure.
Basically, commoner. A nobleman and a common woman could live together openly as husband and wife for 3 years, and then their alliance became a legally binding marriage after that point.
I see.
But you couldn't have like an old timey wedding like the bullshit it was.
Because you would lose your stature.
Yeah, even though he's friends with the king, who gives a shit?
All of those rules are just it's insane. That people even stuck to those.
So at this point, like,
I guess they didn't.
The king's just like giving him a bunch of money. He had 1% of all the wealth in Denmark.
Good God.
Tycho did.
Tycho,
Damn.
which is a lot.
That's nothing to. Well,
Yeah.
he can't sneeze, but there's nothing to leak fluid out of your face to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw there was some comment on one of these fucking websites talking about this, where they talked about like nasal sex or something, and I was like, oh, the fucking reflex.
Nasal
the
reflex, 101.
This guy probably fucking, that's why he was so smart.
Yeah.
Got rid of the pesky nasal reflex.
Yeah, he doesn't have to jack it.
So,
Speak for yourself. But...
he, in 1572, he observed, now this is from Heravad Abbey, not from Uraneburg. This is from his other observatory.
The one that he built with his uncle.
That's right.
Hmm.
He observed a very bright star, which had unexpectedly appeared out of nowhere. Right?
Might have been shooting.
Is it a birth of Christ?
Yes.
Now, it had been maintained for thousands of years, hundreds of years, even since Aristotle and even after Copernicus, that the heavens were immutable. Like they were on these spheres and they were just unchanging. Everything past the moon's orbit was immutable.
Because the question that would get you in trouble with the church too.
Of course. So he had to figure this out, right? He's all about observation, and he saw that this new star that appeared in the constellation Cassiopeia did not have the parallax that other celestial bodies had. So parallax is like when you're driving and you look out the window and you see that the trees on the side of the road are going a lot faster, but the mountains in the background seem to be still.
Mm-hmm.
That's parallax, right? So he had knowledge of parallax, and he saw that new star was not moving across the night sky as quickly as the other stars were. So he deduced that this new star was further away than all these other ones. And a new star would be nova in Latin.
Uh-huh.
So he discovered and named the first supernova.
Wow.
Which was it was an exploding star.
Damn.
Nova. Read it. Marvel Comics.
A little dance.
Read it.
You gotta read it. Can't see it. Well, maybe one day. So the object did not change its position relative to the other, objects in the sky, and that's how we deduced that it was further away. So he coined the phrase nova or supernova. Mm-hmm. He continued doing his observations. His younger sister helped him out, Sophie Brahe. He started publishing more. And then he started lecturing on astronomy, left Denmark to tour other countries to lecture and study more. Then he came back to Denmark, and then the king kind of like offered him more money and higher position. So he stuck around there a little bit. Then he offered him like castles and stuff, and he was like, "Oh, dude, I can't be a lord of the realm. I got all these charts, like business papers. I gotta
papers."
He said, and also,
I got my wife over here. She barely knows how to wipe her ass,
which is fine with me.
And I got my own paper mill. She still can't figure it out. But that was part of it. That's why he turned it down, because he wasn't about that life.
Yeah.
So he wrote to his buddy at the time. He said, "I did not want to take possession of any of the castles our benevolent king so graciously offered me. I am displeased with society here, customary forms, and the whole rubbish." So
He was not into the aristocracy.
that's right. He was not into
Yeah,
the hustle and bustle.
Well, you know, he's
All I want to do is live on my island with my slave subjects, like a simple man,
Yeah.
and look at the stars.
I don't want to deal with the aristocracy.
I'm a simple man who contemplates fiery balls of gas in outer space.
Yeah.
I'm simple.
all this other
Mumbo
claptrap,
jumbo.
but you know, it reeks of arrogance. If I could smell,
Well, if he can't smell, he doesn't give a shit about food then, right?
No,
so
well,
you know, all of a sudden,
He liked to drink.
everything is well, because
He
he drunk.
loved to drink.
that
you get drunk.
feels nice.
He's a big drinker. He
Oh yes, that'll come up.
yeah, real thirsty guy. So he turned down this offer from the king and stuff, and he secretly began a plan to move out of Denmark, because there were some other. I think Basel is the place. Basel is a place that had like a really hot science scene that he was really eager to. Like, and
I gotta get there.
Swing it,
you
daddy.
man, the people there, you wouldn't even imagine.
You dig it the most.
Everything's on time.
The king hears about his desire to move
Oh,
and fucking
no.
sweetens the deal. So he gives it. This is when he gives him the fucking island, right? The king gives him that. Now they're not slaves, okay? But
It's always a good start.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying they're slaves.
they're not slaves, and
But they're not strong swimmers either.
They're not leaving this island.
he's
They don't build a lot of boats.
he's the
They can't get away. They're stuck there with them.
Yeah,
he's
it's
technically the
island.
feudal lord. He just like he took over agricultural planning. Like, all right, now we're gonna do things my way.
Really?
And he demanded them to produce twice as much crops as they did before.
Oh,
One of these-
Well, yeah. I mean, like they wouldn't want that already.
Yeah, I know.
But one of these genius guys that goes, you know, I'm really smart with the stuff in the sky.
I can do anything.
Yeah. Let me fucking nail it all down.
Wait till
for
you see me handle dirt. So he fucks it up.
No, it came. It worked out all right. You know, they worked for free to help build the castle and things. It was fine, I guess.
Okay.
There's only like 100 people there or something. Who knows? So he does a lot of observations.
The only person that does profiles are in the middle of it. He goes, I don't know, man. Maybe it was fucking stupid. And then they called it this. That was dumb.
It is.
I know, but it's just funny how you fucking hate it.
These eccentrics are fucking retarded. So, but
You're right,
to his credit, like, they built all these fucking astronomical contraptions and measurement devices, and they basically went through the entire astronomical record and corrected every single chart.
Wow.
He came up with his own, that's called the Tychonic method, which is kind of a hybrid of the Copernican method and the Aristotelian method or view of the cosmos.
Mm-hmm.
None of them are correct.
Right.
But he kind of bridged a gap, and he had somewhat
Got closer.
He got closer in terms of the results of the measurements
Sure.
and the predictions.
So even though that he was wrong that the Earth was in the center, he still was correct about the movement of some of the other planets. Is it something like that?
Yes, yeah. So, the Copernican model was heliocentric,
Mm-hmm.
and Aristotle was Earth-centric. What Tycho said was that all of the planets in the solar system revolve around the sun. It's heliocentric, except for Earth. But it worked with his measurements. It was able to predict it better. It was true enough at the time for him.
Does the sun revolve around the Earth or something then? Or?
I don't think so.
Oh,
It's all flat. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
No, of
I'm
course,
not
of
going to
course,
dig into
of
it
course.
anymore.
But he still bridged the gap to the next idea, the Galileo.
Right, and he was a contemporary of Galileo.
Yeah.
Galileo was like, this is fucking bullshit. Like,
But Galileo was
Really?
working with telescopes.
he hadn't invented it yet.
Oh, he hadn't. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
it wasn't, and
okay.
he
He
had
wasn't drinking the Kool-Aid, though, Galileo.
none of this guy's shit.
No.
But you know who was? Kepler.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Kepler
yeah,
ended up.
right.
Johannes Kepler was his protege.
Ah.
So then
Really?
Yeah. So Kepler would go on when Tycho eventually dies. Spoiler. Kepler took all his fucking notes and was like, "These are mine now," and I'm gonna.
Wow.
And Kepler makes his I think it's called on the movements of heavenly bodies is I think the name of Kepler's treatise,
That's right.
and his was way more accurate. And then from Kepler you get Isaac Newton right after that, and Isaac Newton writes the Principia Mathematica and revolutionizes science and astronomy and calculus and everything. So there's a direct line. And this Tycho guy was, the last pre-telescope astronomer in history.
Wow.
I mean, so much of that is just taking in data. Like, the ideas you have with it may be wrong, but if
Right.
you're taking it in correctly,
Right.
at the very least, then that can be used correctly later.
Right. Like even, Isaac Newton and in his physics is not right,
Right.
but it's still the formulas we use to send ships, to the moon. It's close. It's accurate enough for us to launch somebody to the moon, right? But then, we had relativity came after that. And then after that,
Right.
Actually, quantum physics came before relativity, believe it or not.
But it's a refine.
It's a refinement of the data and changing your hypothesis and the formulas. So at that point, Tycho's was close enough. And then it led to the other ones, which were then closer enough for.
Gotcha.
Right? So, like I said, he had 1% of the total annual revenue of Denmark. This castle was really cool. I told you it had like a dungeon and
Torture chamber,
all sorts of
etc.,
shit,
yeah.
and
all types of ill
the
shit.
ponds and the
Yeah.
rivers, the streams powered the mill. He had Italian and Dutch artists decorated the observatory. He invented a pressure system to provide the uncommon convenience of sanitary lavatories.
Oh, okay.
So he had like hot running water and all that
really?
shit to like,
Little bidet action?
Yeah, even though I can't smell the shit, I can see it.
Yeah. I can taste it.
It was Galileo's assistant who
There's a lot of shit in the dark.
who put forward the idea of air pressure and water pressure.
Was that Bernoulli?
I think it was Bernoulli. Yeah.
Yeah.
Using a straw, basically a metal straw, a glass straw in mercury.
Yeah.
And you do that thing with the straw.
Barometric pressure then comes out of that.
You put your thumb on the straw,
Sure.
and then and he said, okay, well, something had filled the straw that is keeping the water from filling the rest of it, and air pressure, and so it's because it's around that time.
Yeah, I think it was Bernoulli because that's Bernoulli's law. And then, when you said mercury, they still measure barometric pressure in millimeters of mercury. I think. They were all fucking tight with each other.
Yeah.
Even though they were hundreds of miles away and there was no reasonable form of
I would guess
communication.
also on this island, this isle, that he must have some kind of still or some kind of
Alcoholic situation. Well, he had all these fucking serfs. Well, I'm sure they knew how to brew an ale.
some good bathtub brew.
Yeah.
a warm ale.
Yeah, nice warm
Seems
beer.
like the kind of thing he would be kind of into.
Denmarkus beer.
Probably plenty of wine too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know
imagine.
where they were going to get. They probably had to have it shipped in
Sure.
because of the latitude that they're up there.
And it's an island.
And it's an island. Oh, well, you can make wine on an island, I guess. Australia.
I was trying to further your argument.
Thank you. But I'm sure they had a lot of liquor and beer. This seems like that's
sure.
He probably had some fine wines imported because he, again, did have 1% of the entire revenue.
It's a literal 1%.
He also had a pet elk.
No kidding.
Yeah, some people say moose, but likely an elk. And the elk would trot alongside his carriage as he's going around the island, and lived inside the castle.
No shit.
Yeah. Tycho had a buddy, Wilhelm, and Wilhelm really got like into the idea of the elk, and like
The idea of
yeah, like,
the elk.
can I get one type of thing?
Oh God.
And
I mean,
he's like, oh man,
So cool.
He's writing him. He's like, wow, do you think think that they're faster than deers? And he was like, oh man, I don't know. I could find out. I'm like,
I'm a simple islander.
And I'm just a simple. I just look at the heavens.
You know, by the time that thing's getting up to speed, we hit the water.
And he was, and Tycho's like, I don't think I can't find an animal faster than deer, but I'll send you my elk. You can have it. The guy was like, oh, cool, man. I'll give you a horse. And he's like, perfect. Yeah, a horse for elk. Fair trade, right?
Great. Everybody's made that.
And then Tycho replied, he had sent him a letter, sent him some sad news that the elk died.
No,
The
God.
elk died because he sent the elk to go entertain a different nobleman. That's Landskron.
Landskron.
And when the elk was visiting Landskron, the elk drank too much beer at dinner and fell down the stairs. And
Oh, God. Those savage fucking Danes. Oh, they're sick.
Does
Look
anybody...
at him. He's barely able to walk.
He can't even make it down the stairs.
He's so stupid.
if like I could smell, I would say something was rotten here. But like,
Sorry about that elk, man.
They never make stairs for elk, do they?
so he had a lot of parties. He had a lot of parties at the castle.
You bet.
Well, especially in commemoration for that elk.
He also had a psychic dwarf named Jep.
A what?
Oh, my God.
He had a clairvoyant midget
Dwarf.
named Jep.
Yeah.
Jep?
Yeah, Jepp, and he was also the court jester.
Well, yeah, naturally. that
Oh,
makes
my
sense,
God.
So, you know.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
And,
it's all fun and games. Then when the sun goes down, he gets into the weird shit.
Yeah, it tells you what's going to happen next.
You don't send that elk there. I'm telling you, man, don't do it.
Dude, everything,
I had a feeling.
everything he said came true.
No fucking way. Jeff was right all the time.
Jep was right all the time.
About the elk?
Yeah. Also, Tycho asked / mandated that Jep would have. He sat under the table during dinner.
What?
He sits under the table and he feeds him by hand.
Oh,
That's what you do with the elk.
Here you go, you hungry little fucker.
Are you going to get drunk and fall down the stairs?
I just handed him my dick.
He's still eating.
So you know, there were a bunch of people that lived there. There was a maid named Liva Lauritsdatter.
Oh, God, that sounds hot.
And she lived with Tycho's sister. She lived with Sophia.
Nice.
And later kind of became this like quack doctor in Copenhagen.
Ooh.
She also practiced astrology and all that shit. But she apparently died unmarried in 1693 when she was apparently the age of 124.
Whoa, which Jep predicted, of course.
So Jep like, lived under the table. Jeff lived under the table and like was nonstop talker, real chop it up guy.
Oh.
But like everybody listened to what he said. Like one time, Tycho sent one of his assistants, not his sister, the other one, to Copenhagen, and on the day that they were supposed to be back, the dwarf said during dinner, he said, "See how your people are washing themselves in the sea." And on hearing this, Tycho feared that perhaps his assistant had been shipwrecked, sent a man to the top of the castle to go look out for them, and the man came back and said he saw a boat, bottoms up on the shore, and 2 men near it, dripping wet. And it wasn't his assistant, but it was a boat that did capsize, so...
50-50.
50-50 shot.
Yeah, sure.
Right, there you go.
I mean, he's half a man, half right.
The table is right. Oh, there's someone underneath.
He gave like...
Shut up, the jester is talking.
Everybody, shut up.
He gave medical advice that was like pretty much right all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
You're dead.
Stink.
It's so stupid.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
I gotta get a beer, too. Why would?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Keep going.
No.
No, but you got to hear the story, Matt.
I was gonna listen as I was walking.
Well, yeah, I forget we have speakers out there. Keep going. Don't stop.
Okay. Now put your...
Jep the dwarf, man. What a fucking character.
Yeah, Jep the dwarf has a Facebook page.
Does he?
Yeah, this page commemorates Tycho Brahe's little clairvoyant friend Jep. When he wasn't predicting the future, very accurately, mind you, he was sitting under the table waiting for food to hit the floor or riding around a drunken elk. So the elf rode an elk.
Elf on elk action.
Right. And it's got some really great pictures on his profile. One of them is just a Jeep.
Just a Jeep.
A Jeep, not a jet.
Oh. That's so dumb.
And the caption says, when you Google my name, this is what comes up. People could spell a lot better back in the day. And then
Plus, they were psychic.
There's a man named Google in town.
and then there's one that's like a meme drawing of Tycho. One's like a meme drawing of Tycho. It says, Tycho has no nose because he knows nothing, LOL. And then there's like an elk in the background, like some kid drew
That's
it.
so dumb.
The internet.
Like some kid drew it.
Then May 24, 2016, Jep, the clairvoyant dwarf, updates his status. I like stars. I am Sirius, like Sirius the star.
Nice.
It's important to have like hobbies and
Yeah, you gotta have fun.
yeah, you do have to have fun.
You have to have fun.
Weekly prediction, March 6, 2016. Weekly prediction, Bob, you will get that raise. Also, Beetlejuice will explode in the next 50 years. February 11th, 2016, he posts a New York Times article. Gravitational waves detected, confirming Einstein's theory. Jep says, I totally saw this coming, guys. I am psychic. Also, spaceman, it's legit.
Jep.
February 9th, 2016. Check out these cosmic jams from the superior Tycho, not the lame one we know. And it's a SoundCloud link to electronic music artist Tycho.
Huh.
That guy's huge in Ireland and Sweden.
January 19th, 2016. My good friend Johannes Kepler has a space telescope named after him that is searching for exoplanets. I predict that in a few years we will see a compact version called the Jep Space Telescope. If not, I'm going to poison someone with mercury like I did to Tycho Brahe.
Oh.
NASA, you've been warned.
Whoa.
So that's Jep's Facebook page, the dwarf.
I'm glad he did it.
God damn it. So in 1588, the king, Frederick, dies.
No,
Yeah.
that can't be
He
good.
dies, and his son is Christian IV, and he's only 11 years old. So now you've got
always
this
fun.
child king.
That's hot.
Yeah.
So much power.
So little body. I don't know.
I mean, he's basically Jep-like. I already got a little one around here. Scram, kid. So Regency Council was set up to maintain, the rule of the young prince-elect until he was an adult. The head of that council was Christopher Valkendorf, who did not like Tycho.
Valendorf.
And so, so Tycho's influence at the Danish court kind of like waned
Yeah.
at that time. And then even more, then he was like,
Leading to the rise of Jep, of course.
Isn't that
so that like because of that, Tycho's like, no, I really don't really want to be part of this shit, He really like decided to scram when a mob of commoners rioted in front of his house in Copenhagen. Don't know why. But they did. Probably they were like,
You have a lot of money.
yeah, and you stole one of our ladies, and also maybe this Valkendorf paid him off to do it.
Yeah.
To get him out of there. So he left. And finished a star catalog, and he basically, went into exile. And then he went to Prague. And Prague was the center of the Holy Roman Empire at the time.
Ooh.
He was like, he got sponsored by the Rudolph II, the Holy Roman Emperor, to be the court's
star
astronomer.
guy.
Yeah, the court's
Oh, man.
exactly.
Prague's a happening place too.
Prague it's the center of the Holy Roman Empire,
Yeah.
Matt. Read a blog.
I got a Facebook years ago.
You friends with Jeb?
No.
So, he's the court astronomer, gets a new observatory built and a new castle, 50 kilometers from Prague, only works there for a year. Emperor brings him back to Prague, where he stayed in Prague with the Pope, like Holy Roman Emperor, rather.
Right.
But same shit, right? Till he died, which is also interesting. So I mentioned, he's friends with Kepler and all that shit and whatever. But toward the end, in those last 50 years, he's partying with the Holy Roman Emperor, going to a lot of dinners.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, no chestnuts as far as I know, but he's getting fucking lit up at this dinner. Lit, drinking, imbibing, eating.
Yeah.
And
probably all chopped up.
Anything you can't get on an island.
In October of 1601, he's only 54. He's got multiple castles. He's rewritten the books on stars.
Look at all my shit.
He's died 3 times.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
He's recovered from Cotard syndrome many times. Cotard 19. It's the 19th version of Cotard. He's at this table and he has to piss really bad.
And Jep's not under the table.
Jep's not there to suck him off all the... Oh, boy! Really tap the cake today, sir!
I'm going to be a big boy!
Ooh,
He really gets it up a notch.
Oh.
I'm drinking for 2.
Guess I'll go to one of your palatial shit houses.
So, it was...
Nice party, Rudolph.
It was part of the rules, and it was part of his own issues that, like, he would not... it was bad etiquette to get up from the table before the host did. So he just kept drinking and eating and just crossed his legs and would not get up, and his bladder burst.
Oh my God.
The genius of this time.
Yeah, he had a supernova in his gut.
There you go.
Stop drinking, man. You gotta stop drinking.
No, you would.
So he got, they say, kidney infection, bladder. His fucking bladder burst.
Yeah.
And he got uremia, and he died 11 days later.
Damn.
In pain the entire
In
time.
excruciating pain. Excruciating.
Yeah.
So glad I don't have to smell this.
He tried to cure himself with his bullshit alchemy shit.
Feels like somebody pissed in on my organs and blood and stuff.
Maybe I'm dead.
I wish I was dead. Wish I thought I was dead.
Kepler was there.
It was sterile.
So Kepler was there. And Kepler's first-hand account is that he refused to leave the banquet or relieve himself because it would have been a breach of etiquette. Some people think that the king of Denmark poisoned him for having an affair with his mother.
Oh my God, his mom?
Not his own mom. The king's mom.
Yeah.
The little child king.
Yeah, this wasn't an incestuous... with the child king's mother, yes.
Yeah.
And that may have served as an inspiration for Hamlet.
Well, yeah, but
Because something may have been rotten in Denmark, which he could not smell.
I was thinking of Hamlet when you mentioned that the boat overturning.
Right.
It seemed very Hamletin.
Yeah, he's gone.
Hamletian.
Hamletian.
Please.
Hamletian.
I have a Hamletian.
On rye. So his body has been exhumed twice to figure out his cause of death. He's tested his mustache hairs a few times. I mean, he just got a fucking power stash.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like walrus.
Really?
Yeah, it was cool. The first time,
no nose. It was just
it was just a fucking caterpillar.
Well, anything to draw your attention away from that.
Well, it's about a centimeter lower.
He's got a hell of a mustache.
He had a bunch of mercury in his hair, like
in his body.
Yeah. Weren't they taking that as medicine, though, too?
Right, so that's what they say. He may have been trying to treat himself, but it really wasn't like an overwhelming amount of mercury, and it was certainly not enough to have poisoned him.
Yeah.
But it may have just been because of his alchemy experience, along with that he had 20 to 100 times the natural concentration of gold in his hair, and that may have also been because of his underground lab type of shit.
Yeah.
But they didn't find any, like,
gold.
there wasn't like any, they couldn't find any proof of poisoning. And
So his bladder exploded.
His bladder exploded, and that his own, he summarized his own life in the last few days. You love last words, John, right?
I love him.
God.
His own last words was his own epitaph, right? His own, he said, he lived like a sage and died like a fool.
Wow.
Should have went piss.
Damn, that's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, here's a guy who didn't follow etiquette, it seems like, for some of the things.
Yeah.
And then
he married a fucking downtrodden gutter snake, and then he wouldn't... What? He's like, nose? Fuck nose. I don't need a nose.
He was a playboy.
Yeah. But he was, obsessed with accurate observations. He did have, he had that herbal garden at Urienberg, and that's where he was doing his medicine and alchemy and stuff.
Nice.
And like some of those medicines and those treatments were used for fever and plague and all that stuff. And some of those medicines were used as late as 1900.
Oh,
Damn.
Doesn't mean they worked.
right.
Sure, yeah.
But he left like an indelible mark on the what's the right word? The rigorous accuracy involved in astronomical reporting. He increased the accuracy of astronomical observation by like 7-fold.
Yeah. Presumably just by
Just paying attention better.
data per night, probably.
Yeah.
Researchers.
Yes,
every day.
and he had the money to build like the biggest and best contraptions, and
He had high-tech
calibrated
studios.
them all the time. They never got out of calibration. He also he was the first to, at least in modern times, to make corrections for atmospheric refraction. So he took into account the way that light changed coming through the air. Because it does, right?
Right.
So he took that into account. Previous astronomers made observations accurate to about 15 arc minutes, and those made by Tycho were probably accurate up to 1 or 2 arc minutes.
Wow.
As some in his best ones were accurate to about half an arc minute. And like I said, his protege, his number 2 was Kepler. Kepler goes on to influence Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton changes the game, and you get Einstein, and then you get connections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just really like that he had a fake nose, a pet elk, and a midget who was a psychic.
Yeah. I didn't know about that last part. Yeah.
That's
Jep?
you know
Yeah.
Jep?
No, I didn't know
No?
about Jep.
Well, Jep knew about you.
Yeah, he must
Oh,
have.
big time.
Um,
And what you don't know what happened to Jep?
Only Jep knows.
You don't know. If
I don't know what happened to Jep.
There's no account of him.
Well, he's got a Facebook page. I
Yeah,
could
he's
ask him.
there's
still
no
alive
account of him
today.
coming to Prague though. He probably stayed on the island.
I think he ran shit on the island, probably.
Yeah, he probably.
All right, bring everything needs to come down 2 feet. Let's see what Jep got. Jep.
Does he have a Wikipedia page?
There's actually a young adult novel that was written about Jep
Nice.
by Catherine Marsh. It was called Jep, Who Defied the Stars. And he actually commented on the New York Times article about it. He said, 4 centuries on and still in the news, but I'd give it all away to be a foot taller and still alive.
He's probably got cotards.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't type if you're dead, dude.
No, but he also wrote, there's another status that Jep wrote. Peeps are like, yo, how short were you? And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Everyone was short back in my day. Oh, he's got he made a prognostication, a prediction here. January will follow December.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
Oh, it looks like this might be a picture of Jet.
There's no way it's a picture.
Not a photograph. I didn't say photograph. So that is the story of Tycho Brahe.
Brahe.
You know, you die, you piss your pants to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a fake nose. Fancy ones for occasions.
You
Black
got
tie
a
affair.
commoner wife.
Yeah.
That's right.
Got a fucking
Elk that died of drunk, fell down the stairs.
dwarf, hysterical
tough.
all
That's
day.
tough.
Eerily, just fucking omniscient.
That's clear. Yeah. What he lacked in height, he made up in sight.
Oh, that's really good, Aaron.
I can see the future from down here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's you pissing into my mouth.
But not tonight, buddy.
No,
And the way I mentioned at the earlier part of this episode that I heard about him first, like in 5th grade, and it was that there is a crater on the moon named Tycho after him, and that's how I remembered that it was because his bladder blew up. Because I just like the crater looks like
Oh,
And I was
really?
like, oh yeah, that guy pissed himself. Didn't piss himself, so he died.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do that guy. So crater, bladder.
It really
legit.
all does come back down to piss, doesn't it?
Honestly, and he was probably doing alchemical piss experiments down
Yeah.
there. You know he was.
I mean,
You know, the square root of everything is 1,
piss is number one.
you know? If you think about it.
There's no 0 unless you have
It
one.
might be a mathematical thing you'd cut my nose off for, but,
Hey,
you know?
I'll die on this hill or at this table.
Or under it.
or down the stairs.
What do you think, Jep?
Oh, man. That was great, Aaron.
Thanks, man.
Yes.
These just guys, you know, when I do the research, I write the notes, and I read through them, I'm like, what the fuck are these people doing?
I know.
You're reacting as
They're
you're
all
reading
so
it.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's really fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy people are fun.
They are fun, and
Yeah.
this guy left a real mark, you
Yeah.
know, on his face, on the moon, and everywhere.
Yeah. His fucking pants.
Oh,
Ooh.
God. Hey, when you gotta go, you gotta go. Lesson learned, right?
Yeah. You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta get up and not hold it. And you
Etiquette
gotta
be
go.
damned.
Etiquette be
Yeah.
damned. You know, say there's a fire.
Yeah,
Call
in my
out
pants.
fire.
Yeah.
My elk is
When in
fucking-
doubt.
What? What is it? My elk? Is that my elk? I gotta go. I'm hearing an elk call.
But it's here. It's here to get me.
I gotta. He's not gonna wait.
Oh, I gotta feed.
my
I gotta feed
ride's
Jeff.
here.
I gotta feed Jeff.
Maybe I
My
gotta.
ride.
My psychic dwarf is starving.
I'm gonna get 1 star if I don't go now.
You know I can't feed him
And
after midnight, right?
You know I love stars.
That was excellent.
Thank you.
A lot of fun.
Good times, huh?
Good
Yeah,
times
that
with
was,
you
that
boys.
was.
Oh my
Good to be
god.
back.
It's good to be back. We got
We're only
fucking
3 minutes past curfew.
Nacho. We got fucking the Cotards.
Ugh,
everybody-
this is a thick one.
Thick.
Jep under the table, gobbling up everything.
Ugh.
Fucking elk tanked, falling to its untimely demise. No, I'm sorry, Your Majesty.
I'm actually a moose.
Like a bullwinkle motherfucker, you.
Oh,
All right, let's get the fuck out of here. I'm going to say goodnight. My name is John Fahey.
I'm Aaron Pita.
Pepper soap.
Good night, everybody. We love you.
Starburns Audio.